Welcome to the Time is Ripe podcast. Time is Ripe is a digital journal podcast of Ripe Creatives. Ripe Creatives is a ministry that leverages the arts for the purpose of missions here in Philadelphia and around our region. Time is Ripe is hosted by Ripe Creatives founder Scott Smith and features various guests from within the Ripe community and our extended family. Each episode focuses on a specific experience that our team hosted here in the city or an outside event where someone from our team was booked to perform. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
Y'all might have lost your way, but I'm still out here living my purpose. Know that I'm the best to do it when I'm living the service. Once you see light, you understand that sin is whack.
What's up, fam? Welcome back to the Time is Right podcast. My name is Scott Smith, and I am your host here on the Time is Ripe. Today we have a very special episode. Dare I say the best episode of season 4. Dare I say the most controversial episode of season 4. At least that second part is a fact. We're going back in time to Tuesday, June 10th, 2025, to a place called Venice Island Performing Arts Center. We love that place. Such a fan of Venice, PAC. To break this story down and get to the controversy, which will probably be at the very, very end of this episode. If you're on the edge of your seat, you'll get there eventually. I got a couple of guests. They're all returners. They all happen to be on my favorite episode of season 2 here on The Time is Ripe, the FOF Fest episode. Such a blast, like, to do that episode together. We had a great time. I think at the end of the season, we talked about it being our favorite one. But I got 3 guests. One is really not a guest. He's a co-host. Mr. Jarrett Moses, welcome back.
That's me. I'm here.
Go ahead, Jarrett. Top Mop Productions. He's the producer of this podcast, and he has a lot to say about today's episode. Also, returners. June 10th, it was a Tuesday. We did a thing called Creatives. We had a closing feature. That closing feature was Mr. Doc Hero. Welcome back, Doc Hero.
Thank you. I'm glad to be back.
Always a pleasure to have Doc on an episode. Some of our best episodes here on The Time is Ripe have included Doc Hero, so I think we're in for a great treat with him. Last guest was also on that FOF episode. He's been behind the scenes with so many things that we've done over the years, and he was certainly behind the scenes on this one.
Dare I say, I hope I'm invited back.
Mr. Shawn Prez, ladies and gentlemen.
We're past that point. Oh, shoot.
The 4 of us. I will say that when I brought this episode up, Jarrett was like, "Are you serious?"
Comedy.
I was not ready to talk about this episode.
I think it's been enough time.
No, he brought it up like a week after. I was like, Scott, no.
I think I brought it up like the next day. I was like, "Yo, this episode is gonna be crazy."
God's like, we need to go live. We got to tell the truth.
Got to tell the truth.
Got to stop before misinformation spreads.
Yeah, no, this is gonna be fun. We have so much to say about things before we get into like the hysteria and the joy of this whole situation and joy and regret of what we're going to talk about. But June 10th, Creatives Pier. This is not our first Creatives Pier episode. We did one in season 3 with Mike Weatherby, where we talked about Creatives Pier. Yeah. So we've given some of the backstory of what this thing is. It's our Creatives Philly outdoor open mic. We've been doing it for 5 years now, which is crazy to say that. We've hosted, about a dozen of these things over the last 5 years. One of the big changes, though, coming into 2025 for creatives in general, which we've never talked about because we haven't done an episode about creatives on season 4, is that we shifted our open mic quite a bit. We kept a lot of things the same, but we also made a big shift. And that was in our movement to Bedrock, which has been our indoor venue over the last 6 months or so. And obviously Venice is our outdoor one in the summer. We changed the model to go strictly open mic with incognito features to open mic with a closing feature.
Yeah, and I would say that's even a change just on the creatives events in general, not necessarily just the open mics, because we decided to come up with the idea of combining the concerts that we did, the large scale concerts that we did with the open mic itself.
Yes. Yeah, that was kind of the idea. Was we were doing concerts, we were doing open mics. I had a baby. Jarrett got married. I mean, there's just a lot of people in our crew, because we've been doing this stuff for 7 years, that are getting older and are in different seasons of life. So it was like, how do we find a better balance? And we're like, you know what? We're actually losing money on all these shows as well. Maybe we could lose less money by doing less events. And the theory was, man, if we combine our open mic, which pulls somewhere between 50 and 100 people, with a concert, that our concerts sometimes pull 30 people, sometimes pull 100 people. Like, if we can combine those two things together a little bit, where an artist promotes, we promote, the artist gets to play for an audience that they didn't bring in through the open mic, and then also the open mic participants get to see an artist that they maybe otherwise wouldn't get to see. This could be a win-win-win-win-win. That's been the theory anyway.
Accurate.
So yeah, our last concert up until this point in June was actually in December. We did it at the Story Factory. We did Demir, Craig Watson, Khalil. Great show. Now, Doc was actually asked to be on that show, and he declined. Doc, like, you could have been on the December Creatives concert. You could have been on probably any of the concerts beforehand. When we made this shift, it was like, hey, well, we're not going to do a concert with Doc. We're going to do an open mic feature with you. And what kind of made you want to do June? Because obviously you could have done any of them. What made you kind of want to do the June one specifically?
He's a solo bill artist. He doesn't perform with other people.
Wow. Nah, not at all. I think the one of the main reasons why I decided to do that particular date, I just love concerts outdoors. Like, that's like probably like one of my favorites. So anytime there's an opportunity where I know where it's going to be good quality as far as like production, everything like that, sign me up all day. I mean, so that's the reason I was there. I love the outdoor concerts.
He was at one the year before. He was a little guest for or maybe it wasn't the year before. Maybe it was 2 years before with the Dreamer.
Drew Smith.
Yeah, you came out and you did a couple songs on the set with him. Yeah, which, I mean, were the highlight of the set. But yeah,
we're leaving that one in there. Drew, come get him.
Show, man.
It was great. It was great
overall.
There was that incognito feature time was such a blast because we could get a bunch of different people in. And like you said, Drew was the closing feature of one. And we got good footage from that. I mean, everybody was going crazy, dancing. It's kind of fun that like Pier is like very chill for a lot of the night. Right. You know, like everybody's kind of, and then the closing feature, especially whenever it's hip hop, is just like
when everyone's all hopped up on pudding.
Yeah, everybody gets their pudding in them. Yeah, they just go crazy.
Pudding trauma.
We'll get to the pudding.
Everybody loves the pudding. Everybody.
June outdoor show stuff, always a blast. And I think for us, like when you said you wanted to do June, we were like, yes, because it is outside. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the reality is we're never going to have enough people outside to make it really feel like critical mass because it's outside. Like, it's a space, but it's also outside. And there's people everywhere. There's people 5 layers up on all these different concrete slabs. Plus you got people just over by the cars.
It's very COVID friendly for sure.
Yeah, which is why we did it in the first place, right?
Yeah.
But we needed to have somebody who's going to bring the energy, who's going to do, like, take it seriously and put their best foot forward. And that's been you every time. Like, you never perform the same way twice. You know, you're always going to do something that's going to bring an element in for people to dive into. Now, what those elements are, a little different, but we're just gonna keep alluding to it. But yeah, shout out to the other artists that featured in February and April. We didn't do episodes about them. Abel, who's a ripe artist, Wind and Sail, who's a ripe artist, did February and April. Then this brought us to June. And the cool thing about doing an episode with Doc about Creatives Pier, in my view, is the history side. So we've been doing this for 5 years. Doc is actually the reason why we're doing Creatives Pier location-wise, because Jarrett had the like concept of, I think both of us did, like, why don't we go outside? Like, coming off the pandemic, We want to do open mics again. How do we do it in a safe way? We should go outside. But the question was, but where? And I think I called you, Doc, maybe to ask that question, or you volunteered that information. I don't remember.
I think we just I think you were just kind of talking about like trying to figure out where you want to do the concerts and everything at. I was like, well, you trying to do outside? I would connect with Venice Island because I know they got a little outdoor little area. I'm not sure how that works, but it's worth a try.
Yeah, and I was on the phone with Doc, and I literally drove to Venice Island that day because I was like, what is he talking about? Like, what outdoor space is it? And then you get there, you see it, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like a tiered amphitheater for an outdoor show. Now, come to find out, Venice had never done an outdoor event there. They were just looking at it like, oh, that would be cool someday if somebody wants to do an event there. And then we showed up, and the rest is history. We've been there for 5 years. But
They've still only done like 2. Outside.
Yeah,
We've still done more than them.
They've done Shakespeare on the Park type stuff.
Yeah.
They've done like theater outside with like a sound system.
But you guys were like the blueprint for them doing stuff outside now.
Yes.
I think our very first event, she was out there the whole time, like mentally taking notes of what we set up.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So I'm actually curious on like, why did they set it up that way? Like,
I think
the
it might have
landscape of
something to do with environmental stuff.
Yeah.
Like water, because the Venice has to be built up high because of the flooding potential in Manayunk.
yeah,
True.
You know?
I mean, they're literally an island.
Venice Island.
What a concept.
It's not actually an island.
Yes, it is. You have to cross 2 different bridges to get onto it. Like, there's one on each
Yeah, but
end.
it's
There's
like,
water
it's like
running
a
around each side.
little
It's like
It's a
Venice.
canal.
It's Venice Peninsula.
It's the canal and then the Schuylkill on the other side. But yeah, you're right.
Shout out to Hurricane.
But the
Harvey.
water, when we have had massive floods, Manayunk, that lower level is underwater.
It's not there.
And so Venice was built up high.
Should call it
And
Venice.
I'm guessing it had something to do with water stuff, irrigation.
I mean, think of Venice.
But it's
They're riding boats through the streets.
That is true. That's money right there. Put it on T-shirts. Do it.
They riding boats in the streets.
Boats. Oh boy.
Oh, it was good times. But yeah, so shout out to you for the plug with Venice Island. We went and saw it. The next day, I think I went back and met with their team. And then they were like, hey, do you want to be guinea pigs for the outdoor thing? And we were. And we've been there for 5 years. It was a great time.
Love them.
June 10th in particular was a really, really fun open mic. I think one of the things that happens at Venice every summer is we start with kind of a smaller crowd, and then by the end of the summer, we get our biggest crowds at Venice. But that doesn't mean that like the people who came, even with like less people, we still had special people there. Like that, and that I think was indicative within the artist side, because I can't believe how many first timers we have at Creatives every time performing. And I know that's based around our model. It's lottery style. Everybody has the same fair chance to come. But I would say most open mics are getting the same group of people to come out over and over and over again. And that's just not been our story. Now, maybe it's because we're bad at it and our retention is bad. But I think it's I think it's more indicative of like people are looking for something to do. They hear about this thing. They're willing to check out a Creatives and come and try to perform, because most of our lineup is brand new people every month. Like more than 70% are new people. And that was the case here. Now there were some returners. Just want to work through the lineup here. Greg Snow, part of Write Poetry, and been on this podcast a bunch of times, including recently actually. OE in Poetry, returner.
Yep.
His name Jur, first time. Jessica, aka Thoughts by Dreamer, first time. Leela, first time. Peter Peak, second or third time, because we just met him in the last year at Bedrock. Brody from Around the Way, first time. And Nina, first time at Creatives performing. Monet, first time. YXNG, first time. Carmen, first time. Q-Flo, been around the way a bunch. Barbara Chen first time. I don't know what the percentage was there, but that sounds like 9 out of 12.
Probably. I lost count.
Yeah, it sounds good. 9 out of 12.
Any of these artist acts, we had poets, we had singers, we had hip hop that stood out to you guys. Just want to give space and give flowers where they're due.
I mean, Q-Flo definitely, he's grown a lot. For sure. Like, just seeing like how he's gone from like starting out, teaming up with Prodigy, going out with Holy Smokes, the I'm from Philly campaign, you know, is he's gotten a lot more comfortable, and you can tell, even with his reels and stuff like that. Like, I'm like, bro, like, you're growing phenomenally. So super dope to see him like show up. And
I feel like I've seen him perform more at Piers than anywhere else. It's always fun. I remember he did Camaro Flow a couple years ago at Pier, and that just made me love that track. Like, I love the beat he has for it. I love his lyrics in it. It's just a good song.
I would definitely say Q for sure, 100%, because I feel like Q has been at it for so long. I mean, really, I feel like it feels like almost as long as I've been doing it. So just to see like his growth from when he was like very young to where he's at now, because pretty much a lot of people that I feel like in his like era, his class, a lot of them gave up. Like, they don't really do music like that. Might be just a small, just like amount, a few of them.
Yeah.
But he just kept working like at his craft, and I feel like I have like kind of like that connection with him, because I remember like when I first started, it was it was terrible. It was bad. So when you go look back at that kind of stuff, it's like, wow, like I can't believe where I started at and where I'm at now. And he's been doing so many like great things and pushing like the culture forward. So shout out to Q.
Shout out to Gritty CHH.
Yeah.
oh God,
Q-Flo. Yeah, I mean, Q's a great dude, and it's been fun. I mean, part of mine and Doc's story and Shawn was the bridge, Geneva, you know, and Q-Flo drove all the way out.
Oh yeah.
He was what, 17, 18 maybe, 16, 17, 18. Drove all the way from Philadelphia to Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, first show that we had at a college. And yeah, you think about where he was then.
Exactly.
To, you know, absolutely wrecking the Cypher. I think he got second or third in the Cypher at Holy Smoke. And I don't even necessarily know if you can judge those things objectively, because his verse was certainly one of the best.
Yeah.
Shout out to Breno who won. But Q-Flo's been killing it. He's been doing his thing for a long, long time. And it's like the 10,000 hours thing. Like, you can just tell he really cares.
Yeah.
You know, he cares about his music. He's figuring out the content game, which is a big part of this whole being an artist thing, which nobody wants to do. But he's been figuring it out. And I also think Q is just like, he's a strategic voice within Christian hip hop nationally. Nobody else is Q-Flo, you know? Like, he's going to bring a controversial side, you know what I mean? He's gonna speak his mind on some stuff, and he's gonna stand in the gap for people that he cares about, and be like, "Yo, you guys should be paying attention to us. You know, all you care about is this kind of sound. What about this kind of sound?" And I just appreciate his energy around that stuff, because that's so hip hop in general. But CHH like doesn't have that without Q-Flo in his camp.
Yeah. True. Which is, I mean, it's needed, you know. In CCH, because everything sounds the same.
It can.
Controversy on the podcast.
Listen, this is nothing.
This is nothing.
Yeah, shout out to all the performers. I just want to shout out Greg as well. I thought Greg did a great job opening up. Thoughts by Dreamer, Jessica, big fan of her. I thought Birdie from Around the Way did a great job. Barbara Chen at the end as well did like a singer-songwriter thing on acoustic guitar right before we got into the closing feature. But all the artists who performed on the open mic, shout out to you. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for giving our platform a chance. Hey, clap it up for them. But now we get to the point that we've all been waiting for. Doc Hero set. As we said, we used to do incognito features. Now we do closing features, name features. People came expecting to see Doc Hero, which is fun to actually have somebody's face on the flyer posted up around Manayunk. We went and passed out a bajillion of these flyers and put them up in all the businesses. Shout out to all the businesses on Main Street that let us hang. And you could walk by and see Doc Hero's face in the window. And, we're super excited to get to it. Doc, I feel like, Shawn, maybe you should.
Guys, let's go back. I just want to talk to you about friendships, right? Somebody say friendship. Friendship. So Doc, that's my best friend, man. He was my best man at my wedding. And we've been hanging out for quite some time. And as you talk to your friends are gonna tell you things they want to do. Like you got a bucket list. You got a bucket list, right, Scott?
Sure.
Right, Jarrett, you have a bucket list?
I don't think so.
Get a bucket list, Jarrett. And get good friends, because your friends will help you check off your boxes on your bucket list, right? So I remember in my mom's house, right? We were sitting on a couch before I had a house, before I actually made a little bit more money I make right now. Doc said, yo, man, I want to have a concert. I want to have an outdoor concert. I want to have pyro. Like, we're huge wrestling fans. It's just like, yo, like, there's nothing greater than like a WrestleMania moment when you have pyro going off, right? Everybody knows Batista, right? Do. So Doc was like, yo, man, I want pyro at a concert. So when we got to the Story Factory, we have a little bit more pool there, right? In our list of things we wanted to accomplish, we were like, yo, we could do cold sparks, right?
Yeah.
I remember wanting to try that.
Right. So there's this guy that came to the building that's supposed to be an elite professional that said cold sparks are a fire hazard. And that kind of like X'd off our opportunity to have cold sparks in the building that we're at all the time. So it was like, well, there goes that dream. So
I dug cold sparks inside the tent.
It's totally safe. Hence the term
Cold
sparks. Cold sparks.
We've seen it done at 110 million weddings inside of us.
Oh, 100%. I was just at a wedding.
Low
last
ceilings, cold
Saturday.
sparks. Prom send-offs, cold sparks. Your baby shower. Put the baby in front of the cold sparks. Totally fine.
One foot in front of the performer's face. They're fine.
They're fine.
Totally fine. Have you not met the man or heard of the man Bill Goldberg? Those were hot sparks, but nonetheless.
That's why he has no hair, right?
Right. Yeah, that's why.
I feel attacked. But anyway, it was a goal. So Doc said, "Yo, man, I'm having an outdoor concert. I'm be on the pier." And I was like, "Huh. All right. Well, what time are you going up?" "I'll be up around this time." "All right, cool. I'll be there." That's all I said to Doc. I'll be there. So I picked my wife up from work.
I was there.
He was there.
I picked my wife up from work. I went out to a little town called Westchester, Pennsylvania. No, not Westchester, Chester, Pennsylvania. Totally different from Westchester. To a place called Phantom Fireworks, where they got a special. You can get 4 fireworks for $100. So I picked up 4 boxes of fireworks. I was like, hey, man, we outside. Nobody's around. We can set these off and it'll be just fine. So I put them in the back of the truck. I got my little porch chairs and stuff like that, and I came as a guest just to watch the show, right? So I said, hey Doc, how long before you go up? "Oh, I got 3 more people before." "Okay, cool, no problem." So I see Kenny, aka TSW Legend. I was like, yo, Kenny, you want to do something cool? He says, "I don't know," which is the perfect response if I ask you if you want to do something cool. So I said, "Hey, I got this lighter. Just take a walk with me." So we go to the back of my Jeep. I open up the trunk, and Kenny sees fireworks. He's like, "What are you going to do?" I said, "Well, Doc's probably going to do night care or something like that. I'll just set off a firework before we go home." "Oh, okay, cool." So we drive away, and mind you, Doc walks up, and I was like, "Hey, Doc, just go over there for a second." He's like, "Where are you going?" "Just go over there, man. Don't worry about it." So we drive to the other side. We take the boxes around to the backs on the other side of the tennis courts and stuff like that, behind the pipe and drape, and we sit them down, and we set them spaced out apart. It was like, all right, well, there's enough time we can light that one, and then we can go over and probably hit the other 3. So we drive back up to the other side, Bic lighters in hand, and I can't think of his name. What's his name? Chris? Was it Chris?
From Manoa?
Yeah, from Manoa.
Yeah, Chris. Shout out to Chris.
Chris spotted the fireworks. And I overheard Chris mention to somebody, hey, there's somebody over there setting up fireworks. And I was like, all right. He blew up the spot. So I was like, all right, well, if Doc doesn't know, don't worry about it. I don't care if anybody else finds out. So I think I went and I sat next to you, Scott. And Scott says, those are either Frito-Lays or fireworks. I was like, oh, they're fireworks. And he says, you better not get me kicked out of here. I was like, nah, man, you're fine. You're not going to get kicked out. It's all the way over there. You'll be good. So Scott just has like this like nervous like, ha, 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 ha. I was like, everything's going to be fine, Scott.
And then at this point, simultaneously, the pudding guy's there that everybody loves. Everybody's getting pudding. The police show up
Unprompted.
to get pudding.
Pudding.
They're just there to get pudding.
Wow.
So I don't know
else.
exactly what happened. I was running around, but I see Shawn and the police officer talking. And I'm like, oh, thank goodness. This is not going to happen now because Shawn's talking to the police. Like, clearly, this will never be set off because the cops are here. Shawn's not going to light off these fireworks.
So what happened was word started circling around that fireworks were out, and Doc knew. And I said, Doc, you have fireworks on your set. What song do you want them on? He's like...
No, the funny thing is, I didn't really know. I was still lost in the sauce.
He was very confused.
Because somebody was like, oh, yeah, they have fireworks. I'm like, who has fireworks? And nobody would never
So
say
confused
anything
Doc
back to me.
is the
I'm
most
like,
annoying Doc.
what,
I was like,
what fireworks are we talking? Who has fireworks?
I got fireworks. I set them up. What song do you want them on? Hero Island. You're not doing Night Garrett? No. All right, cool. Hero Island. I'll set them up. So literally after we had this conversation, TSW legend Kenny walks up and says, yo, the cops are over there. I said, okay, where? Over there. Where's over there, Kenny? Show me where the police are. Oh, they right over there. Okay, let's go talk to the police. So I go and talk to the police officer and say, hey, we have a firework we're going to set off at the end of the show. She's sitting there eating pudding. I don't care. Okay, cool, sure. So I walk away and I'm like, all right, you said it's all good.
I'm guessing she was off the clock eating pudding.
She was clearly on the clock.
And just didn't care at that
She was in
moment.
uniform.
She was in uniform, blicky in hand, badge on, and got the card.
And she got the car. I will say, I think that she definitely assumed you were articulating, hey, we have permission to do this. We have a permit in her brain. Like that you weren't asking, you were just telling that this is what's going to happen. I think if I would put her, because
listen, guys, I'm gonna be honest. I was not asking. I was telling. But if she had said no, I'd have, all right.
Yeah.
You the law. But if you say, I don't care me, I don't care.
Yeah, she did say, I don't care. I did not hear this conversation. I saw the fact that you were having a conversation with a cop, and I was just like, thank God.
This is not
okay.
careful
Amen. This is definitely not going to happen. All right, we're good. Coast is clear. It is not going to take place. Amen.
Anytime this guy is talking to somebody, he's trying to accomplish the goal.
Yeah. He's not conceding.
Unless if you say no. But if you leave room,
Says please don't leave room because I know you asked me and I said please don't.
Yeah.
well, Jarrett, please don't was like, please don't.
Listen, because it was a long day. That morning, I had both ends of the spectrum of fire and water on my speakers because we're setting up the speakers that morning. And the sprinkler maintenance team is there for some reason. And they're like, let's test it. They punch it. Sprinkler heads pop up less than 5 inches from each of my speakers and just start shooting straight at them.
Oh, God.
I was...
It was terrible.
So you was already
not a
cooked
good day.
before the fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks was just the icing on the cake.
The ice.
I did hear this story. When Jarrett told me the story, I thought Jarrett thought they were like fountains, like the ones that you like sit on the ground and like shoot up. I was like, oh, these are going like 15 feet in the air. They're nowhere near the speakers. So that was my thought process at the time.
Yeah, they were not cold sparks, ladies and gentlemen.
By the way, he says they were not near anyone. They shot up to the exact same height as Highway 76, which was right next to the island.
On the other side of the river.
On the other side of the river. Yeah. I mean, it was pretty insane. I will say this. The third song starts. I still, at this point, think that the fireworks are not happening because the cops were there. I was like, we're so golden. This is going to be fine. Amen. Thank God for the Philadelphia police being here to shut things down. That are going to get me in trouble.
Has anyone said that before?
And then
No.
I will say it was perfectly on beat.
Thank you.
The weirdest timing ever. But it's like, it's just you and God, Hero Island.
Boom.
Boom. And these were not little, like, box flare type fireworks.
I went to the back of the store.
These were the big guys. First firework goes up, second goes up, third goes up, and then it's just boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And then it's just pandemonium chaos as people are excited and flipping out and yelling and excited. But then some people, shout out to the twins, love them. They had like sensory overloads. So they're like breaking down, crying, running away from the scene of the crime. And then the people from Venice are running out, like the actual staff of Venice, rightfully so. Because they're like, what the heck happened? Like, I mean, they first thought it was a shooting, right? Because that's the gunshots kind of sound from inside of the building. Like, first they're thinking that there's violence. Then they're coming out. They're seeing fireworks still going off because they just keep going. They just keep going for so long.
It's a 16 shot, 500
Yeah, it was
gram
so
repeater.
many. 16 is so many. Yeah. Way too many. But
Way too many. It feels like a lot more when you didn't even want them.
Like when you are regretting what's happening, every firework going off and exploding,
Times
you're just
two.
like, oh my
It's
gosh,
times two.
please stop.
The
Please
4th
stop.
of July is
please stop.
happening.
And thankfully, you didn't set off any of the other 3 boxes.
No.
Thank God.
Because you brought 4 times as many as went off. So thankfully that happened.
I still have them in the car.
But the guy, please don't say that. Please don't tell me that. The guy,
Fireworks
the guy
on the
from
podcast.
Venice, the guy from Venice, bless his soul, he's mad. First, he thinks it's violence. It wasn't that. But then he sees the girls, the twins, crying.
Yeah.
So he thinks that one of them got hit. So now he's equally furious. And we're de-escalating these big fears. Mm-hmm. But while he's talking to me, like every 4 seconds, another bang is happening. So it's just like, he's like, okay, so they're okay? Like, yeah, they're fine. They didn't get hit with a... I promise, like, everything's okay. I mean, this is not good. Like, I know that we're... And I'm just like, yo, you've got to be kidding me. like I'm in this conversation with this man with the fireworks are still going off in the background. And I'm just like, yo, this is the end. This is the end. And my initial reaction was, we're done. We're cooked. Like, August is not going to happen.
So the moment of regret I had was when the twins had it sensory overload.
Yes.
Because in my mind, I was like, okay, checked all the legal boxes. Nobody's going to jail. The police are here. They're eating pudding. Everything's fine. And then when I saw them crying, I was like, you are a piece of crap. I was like, dang.
Yeah, you didn't account for that one.
I didn't account for that one.
Yeah, you didn't account for that. But, you know, I mean, it's hard to know that something like that is going to happen. But while all this is happening, Doc is still performing. Still ripping through Hero Island, finishing up your third song. Doc, from your perspective, Like, you're the one on stage while this entire thing is transpiring. You probably don't know a lot about the ancillary things, Venice being upset, the police. You don't know any of it. What is that like for you, being on stage while just total pandemonium is happening?
Well, for one, I want to say it's probably like a minute before I stepped on stage when I knew it was like about to happen, but I still didn't have an understanding of like how big this was going to be. So Sean's like, yeah, you got your pyro. What? And then he taps C on the back. What song are you doing? I'm like, I'm probably doing Hero Island last. Okay, good. And just walks off.
You're putting two and two together, but you don't know.
Coming to the stage, Doc Hero. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I need to lock back in. Because I'm trying to lock back in, hit it to the stage. So I go behind like the curtain or whatever. I see the fireworks. I'm like, oh my gosh. So I'm like, okay, I got to go out there. Go out there and go fast forward to the end. When I start hearing the fireworks, I'm like, wow, this is insane what's happening. So everything you guys are talking about, to me, it looks like everyone is enjoying this moment. So
he just hears yelling. He doesn't hear the anger in the yelling.
So to be fair, 99% of the people there were going crazy.
Yeah.
Definitely, if like adrenaline wise, it took me to a whole nother level.
Turn this man into Travis Scott. Dang.
It was like having an energy drink right there on the spot. So, but
all lit at once.
All lit at once.
All lit at once is crazy.
All lit at once. And yeah, I feel like this made the set just more amazing. You know what I mean? I'm just added more fire to the song.
I mean, guys, it looked great on Instagram. I'm just saying.
It looked great.
The videos were epic.
It's crazy. Going back to our side, we're up in the parking lot. Now, at this point, shout out to the cop, because the cop was like, what? I didn't have anything to do with it. Because, I mean, like I said, I think that the cop was thinking, well, I thought that they had a permit, because if they're going to do this, they have to have a permit. They know that. I know that. But, you know, it just kind of became like a he said, she said type of situation.
The pudding ran out and the spoon was empty. That's what happened.
And I was just like, well, all I know is like, I'm deeply sorry that this happened. This wasn't like a plan that I had as the curator of this event for this to happen. But it is ultimately my responsibility, and we'll talk about it.
Really quick.
Yeah.
Is it okay if I name this episode? I'm just throw this out there. Pudding, Police, and Pyro.
Oh my goodness. That might be a caption for Instagram reel. Pudding, Police, and Pyro. That's pretty good. That is an infamous story. Now, thankfully, I will say that Venice was very, very upset, but I did go in and put my tail between my legs and just get down on my hands and knees and apologize and beg for forgiveness. And two things were unbelievable, because the event was on a Tuesday. Thursday morning, I was at Venice apologizing, and they said three things, actually. They were like, number one, it was just wet enough that we didn't start a fire on the bush, which is good. It was just wet enough that there were no scorch marks from the fireworks being set off on the court, because the court isn't owned by Venice. It's owned by somebody else. We also, this is the craziest piece for me, not one person called the police. Like fireworks going off in the city, pretty standard practice in Philadelphia. So that probably helped us a little bit, but still somebody's going to call. One neighbor is going to be like, these kids are doing it again.
Of all neighborhoods, it would happen in Manayunk too.
In Manayunk, you're talking about probably 4,000 residents within eye line from their apartment complexes of where those fireworks are. We know this because we've had people listen to our Creatives Pier events on their balcony. And many like people are like enjoying the show from all around the neighborhood because of where it's placed. Those fireworks are like at eye level for a lot of these people. Nobody called. Again, probably assuming it was a planned production.
Ain't no snitches get stitches.
Yeah, right. And then
officer was.
And then the last thing was that Creatives Philly didn't promote it. Right? Now, I was tempted to because it looked amazing. Like there are videos going viral on Instagram stories, right? People resharing this thing like crazy. But I did not reshare it from Creatives Philly at all.
Right.
I tried to make it look like it didn't even happen.
Well, you did a good job of that.
Because, well, on our side, yes, not in the virality of the moment side. I mean, people were talking about it for weeks. But yeah, like we tried to make it not something that we were like, because it would have been easy to do that, be like, reshare.
Didn't this turn out great, guys? Look at all that.
But my bigger concern was not how do we maximize the marketing of this moment. It was, man, our relationship with Kelly, with Steve, with Asher, with the rest of the team at Venice. Like these people have been so gracious to us for 5 years. And I think we've done a good job honoring their space for 5 years. And that was a part of what gave us you're on thin ice. Like if anything like this were to ever happen again, you're done. But we're going to forgive this. We're going to give you grace here because we've had such a good long-standing relationship. So we were able to do the August show, which went amazing. We were probably going to do an episode about it as well. But that was my biggest concern in that moment, was that.
Yeah. I remember being worried about it. And I think I expressed it to Shawn in like a text later. I was like, if Creatives Pier dies and Venice dies, like there's a chance Creatives dies because like that's one of the main reasons we keep doing Creatives, because Pier is one of our favorite interactions and connection points with people. And if we don't have that, I'm like, do we even feel like doing it the rest of the year?
Yep. Yeah, it felt like a lot was riding on it. Now, in the moment, the police and the Venice people were kind of talking to me. And I was concerned for you as your friend of like, I didn't want to throw you under the bus from like just integrous standpoint of like, yo, I'm not gonna out my friend. Like it's my event. Let me take this on the chin. If we need to pay a fine, if we need to be reprimanded, it should be on the organization, not on a citizen. Because the thing was, I was like, I don't want you to get in trouble.
I mean, for the record, Scott, I'd have took that hit.
I know you would have. But that was what I was trying to do, was keep that kind of separated.
Yeah.
Now, the other thing that happened is this happened at 9:15. We have to be gone from Venice by 10. So 9:15, this happens. The show's still going on till like 9:20, 9:30. And then we have 30 minutes to tear everything down and get out because our contract, we lost 15, 20 minutes dealing with the situation with the family and the girls, dealing with the Venice person, talking to the cop, talking to the Venice person, talking to the cop. So like it's like 9:45 and I'm just kind of in, we got to get this done. We got to get out of here. I don't know what's going to happen. We might have just lost our contract with Venice, but I'll deal with that later. We just got to get this work done. Now, Doc was so bad because you were looking at me like, yo, he's not talking to me. Like, this is my show. I performed on it. We're not having a conversation, which I regret for sure. But I was just thinking in terms of time, like, get to 10 p.m., get this done.
And the reason behind that was everyone kept coming up to me.
Right.
Like, yeah, Scott's upset with you guys. I'm like, okay, like, why? Because I'm still like, about the fireworks. I'm thinking, okay, the fireworks went off.
We're great.
Everybody loved it. We're great. But I'm like getting a whole nother side of the story. No, Scott is upset with you guys.
I don't know where people were even getting that because everyone's circulating like, Doc had no clue. I'm like, Doc's on the stage. He didn't set him off. And then someone tells me Doc didn't know. I'm like, okay, then why does anyone like have any feeling towards Doc right now?
Yeah, I was never upset with Doc. I was upset with Shawn, for sure.
I wish this was a video podcast so you could see all of Shawn's reactions to everything that's been said.
I'm sorry.
I'm lost for words.
But it was pretty amazing because like Ant was like, "Yo, man, just go home, get some rest. Everybody's amped up right now. Just let it go." I was like,
Peacemaker.
We're gonna have
Props
to
to
do
Ant for
that.
that.
Yeah, props, man. You need somebody to step in.
To step in and just be the level ground.
I will say one thing that gave me a little hope that night was we always, when we have two piers happening in the same summer, they let us store some of the equipment at Venice. They still let us leave some of the stuff there that night. And I'm like, they could have told us just pack it up and take it with you. And I'm like, that would have made me feel like it's over.
Yes.
But the fact that they let us stay, I'm like, there's a chance.
There's a chance.
I
thought it was a lot slimmer of a chance than it ended up being. But honestly, it was crazy. It was the not sharing it on social media stuff. Because they were like, I'm going to be honest, we were looking all day yesterday. We kept checking in to see if you guys were going to be posting about it. And she was like, the fact that you never did tells me you did not want this to happen. So we're going to let you come back in August. And I was like, thank you so much. Now, they may not let us come back in 2026, but they did let us come back in August of 2025, and it was a great show. And we're just really grateful for them.
I don't think that'll be the case due to some other conversations that have been had.
That's true. That's true. It's been good to us.
I have a question.
Yes.
Am I still banned?
Just from Pier.
I think, I don't think you are. I don't think you are. I think
He's banned from a lot of places.
I think you are definitely banned. You were definitely banned for August show.
Honestly, it crossed my mind. I was going to come with a brown paper bag.
I thought you were going to come with a shiesty.
Well, no, I felt like a shiesty would have been too threatening, so I was just going to get a brown bag and cut the eyes out. Who's that guy? Don't worry about it. He's fine.
Oh, man. Well, it's funny because legend, Kenny got, his name never came up until right now on this podcast.
Sorry I implicated you, man. Yeah. Don't worry, I'll take the charge.
His brother was on the feature for the next one.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
I was like, Kenny, you might not be able to come, man. He's like, no, can't do that to me. No, it's funny. They did say we would like the person who shot off those fireworks to not be at the event in August. I don't believe it is a permanent ban,
Okay, cool.
but it was certainly a seasonal ban. Like, we were not going to push our luck.
It's not the first place I've been banned from in Manayunk, but that's another story for another day.
Another podcast.
Another podcast.
That's beautiful.
I wish that was
And
a
I'm
joke.
not even remotely surprised. I wish I was surprised. I'm not.
Dang, Scott.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm just very thankful. One, it was a great night. Before the fireworks, the night was amazing. Doc's set was amazing. The people that came out, all the first timers. Then you have this iconic kind of thing. But honestly, my biggest takeaway from this event was just the value of communication, the value of reconciliation, like offering and receiving forgiveness from friends. Because I think that's one of the things that I'm grateful for is our relationship goes way back to where even something like this, it was a little chaotic, it can't destroy a friendship that has stood the test of a decade. Like, we've known each other since 2015, 2016, and built a friendship and relationship and trust to where it's like, yeah, do you want to throw that away over one chaotic situation, one night where things didn't go, exactly the way you wanted, right, or a misinterpretation of events or anger or whatever in a moment? No. Like, we got to work this out. And just contending for that, like, I think you went on vacation like right after.
Yeah.
So me and Doc had like a nice little gap there before we talked again. But I just, that to me was the biggest takeaway of this whole thing was, you got to work through stuff with your friends. Yeah. You got to make sure that you get back on the same wavelength. And whatever happens with Venice, whatever happens with the cops, whatever happens with the fine, we'll deal with that. We'll walk through that. We'll figure that out. But don't let something like this destroy friendship.
I think my biggest takeaway was that Doc needs to update his lyrics now, because he has the one song where he says fireworks, Labor Day. It needs to be fireworks, creatives, Pier.
Which that is hilarious. The first time I did that song
After
was hilarious because it hit me. It was like,
Can't stop my fireworks.
Not the
Labor Day
fireworks
is
again.
Pier.
Not the fireworks again. But yeah, going back to what you're saying, like it definitely wouldn't have been worth throwing a friendship over a box of fireworks
That were on sale.
that were on
It was
sale.
on sale, man. Look, man.
16 shots can ruin the friendship.
60 shots, man.
16 shots.
Oh my gosh.
Context.
Some people are emotional about 16 candles, man. Get friends that'll do 16 shots for you.
Context.
Context. Fireworks. Fireworks.
No. Don't correct me.
It's beautiful. And I will say that, I don't know if I should say this, but Venice's staff was like, it did actually look really cool. They're like, there's a reason why you can't do it. Like, it's in the contract for these reasons,
Right.
insurance
There's
liability,
a lot
and all
of
that
reasons.
stuff.
Yeah, makes sense.
But she was like, it did look really cool. And it did. I mean, it honestly did. Maybe one day we'll release the footage. I don't know.
Listen, if Doc somehow gets the footage and wants to make his own video of it, it's there.
Just leave the memory card on the table.
Somehow he got the link to Dropbox. I don't know.
It's terrible.
I'm just saying, moral of the story, man. You gotta do dope stuff with your friends, man. Like, yes, it was chaotic, but I mean, that's a memory we'll never forget.
We will not forget it, and at least we're laughing about it now.
And it is certainly canonized here on the podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you for tuning in to today's episode. It's maybe the most controversial episode we've ever done,
But that's okay.
but that's okay. Sometimes there's got to be a little controversy in the story of what God's doing. Check us out. Come to a creatives event, especially in the summer times whenever we're at Venice Island. They are a blast. They will not be this much of a blast. There will not be blasts behind the artist ever again. But the event itself is really, really great, even without the fireworks. So even without the pyro, it's still worth your time. Check us out on the gram, Creatives Philly. Obviously follow us at Ripe Creatives. And thank you to all of our partners that allow us to have moments like this, to produce events, to create space for artists, to connect with fans and vice versa. To have new artists come and perform on an open mic. And some of those people are believers performing for the first time ever. And we get to be a space where they get to do that. We get to be a space where, the gospel is presented through so many of the artists that know Jesus, that we get to build relationships with people who are far from God. And we aren't trying to leverage illegal activity to reach people, right? But God is a redeemer of all things, and he can use even moments like this.
He is the light of the world.
He is the light of the world, a city on a hill, a lamp that should never be covered, wind inside the sails, boom. But honestly, God uses it all, even what we didn't expect. And I know our friendship, our relationship, working through this, has been a witness to people in our camp. This like I've gotten the like, yo, you're just gonna forget them like that? Yes, because that's what the gospel commands us to do. And these are my brothers in Christ. These are real relationships. This is way more important than what happened that night. Whatever happens, whatever the repercussions, whatever the ramifications are, we'll figure that out. The biggest thing is I don't want this to be the end of relationship. And I think the fact that we're here on this podcast is pretty telling that that's the case.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what Sean's punishment should be? He has to put on FOF Fest again.
No.
Is that that right there? That's the live draw?
Nah, this is just stock footage.
I was like, that sounded kind of accurate.
It did.
What about FOF Fest, Sean?
We need another good episode on the podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, another good episode on the podcast. I don't know, man.
We can rebrand it.
I'm just the man behind the glass.
You want to go behind the glass again?
I guess we'll have to stay tuned and figure out if that happens.
Because I can't do it without him.
That's a fact.
In the words of the great Hunter Hearst Helmsley, never say never.
Never say never. Amen. You heard it first here, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, real quick. If you do want to find out the other place I'm banned from in Manayunk, just DM me at Shawn Prez. I'll tell you the story.
Yeah, that's for your own podcast. that one's not enough here. We love y'all. Thank you so much for tuning in. Until next time, stay right.
That's it. Yeah, I'm done with the games. I thought this was
You can learn more about Ripe Creatives and support our ministry by visiting our website, ripecreatives.com. To never miss a future episode, you can join our community text line by texting Time is Ripe to 215-273-3540. Time is Ripe is produced, recorded, edited, and released by Top Mop Productions. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
living my purpose. Know that I'm the best to do it when I'm living the service. Once you see light, you understand that sin is whack. Be aware, wolves plotting on the next attack. Armor of God, give me the word. I'm always strapped. My brother's able, never question if I got his back.